Hello and welcome to the Quibber channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a wonderful, splendiferous day. We're going to talk about ADHD today. It's crazy, you know, though it was only since 2008 that ADHD in the UK was recognised as an adult problem as well. That adults could have it as well as children. It's no wonder some of the stuff that I went through wasn't actually caught. Now, as I always say, I'm on the autistic spectrum disorder. As an umbrella term, I'm autistic. And I also have what's called comorbidities, which is like illnesses that come around with that, well, not mental issues like bipolar and ADHD. Now, I'm going to read you a complete list of the symptoms in an adult for ADHD. Now, the thing is, everybody in the world gets some of these now and then. You all get it. For it to be ADHD, it's got to be a persistent part of your life that drives you, that causes harm to you, being who you are. So let's go through a list of this. And, okay, inattention. Difficulty sustaining focus on tasks or activities. Yay. Struggling to complete tasks or projects. No, actually, tell you what, we'll go through this and I'll give you an example. Difficulty sustaining focus on tasks or activities. Oh yeah. It takes so much effort to try to do the basic things. Like yesterday, I wanted to go out on the Quingo, and I did go out on the Quingo, but I had been distracting myself and talking to my friends and I was about 2 hours late on it, and it was wonderful. I was spending time with my friends, but I wanted to get out and do it, and trying to do that task and there's so many things I have to pull together to be able to leave the house. I've got to have my armour on, I've got to have my hoodie on, I've got to have all my items with me, my camera's got to be fully charged, my mic, in fact, right here, right now, yep, I just remembered, I picked this up and I forgot to put it in its charger. This is my DJI mic, this has got to go over here. Before I forget, and let that charge up. Got to do that now, or I'll forget it for another 3-4 hours, or I'll forget it until tonight, and then realise I've still got it in my pocket. Struggling to complete tasks or projects. Well, this can be a more overview. It isn't just tasks and projects. The amount of times I will watch 10 minutes of a film, or 20 minutes, or half an hour of a film, or I used to read, when I used to read books, I'd stop reading about 20 pages from the end, or I'll start doing the dishes and then my brain will say, ooh, that's got to be done as well, and I'll leave the dishes. Sometimes I'll even leave the tap running and I'll go and freaking do something else, and then something else will take me from that and that and that. The finishing of the tasks is very hard. It takes a lot of mental energy at every point in time during my day. So that's the second one. Struggling to complete tasks or projects. Easily distracted or sidetracked. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The amount of times I've wanted to play a certain game, or sit down with my friends, or do anything, and my brain just gets fucking distracted. I love having my security cameras over there, allow me to see what's going on, allow me to make sure no one's coming near my house and things like that, and keep an eye on things and be forewarned when someone's going to knock on my door, so I'm not surprised by it and it doesn't freak me out and I don't freeze up. But having that there and being able to, oh yeah, it's too easy. It's too easy. So many things I have to be careful of. I have to be very, very careful of what I'm doing. It all takes effort to fight against this. Trouble following instructions or remembering details. Oh fucking yeah. Now, yep. Minecraft. Simple recipes. This is why I stopped playing Minecraft. My brain just could not handle it. That I'd go up to a workbench, a recipe bench, I'd look at the recipe. It'd be a simple recipe, maybe 4 or 5 slots needed to be filled in a specific order, and then I'd switch over to the actual table to build it, and oh, it's gone. Back, forward, 20-30 times. Frequently lose all misplaced items. Oh yes. I have a system that I try to keep to, which I never keep to, and I try to force myself to make sure I put stuff in certain places, and the amount of stuff that I lose all over the place, or that can just... Hyperactivity. Restlessness or fidgeting. Yes, you've already seen some of that in what I do. I've got this computer, I've got that computer, I've got my arcade machine, I've got my Amiga, I've got my Steam Deck and that, and so I can jump between the two of them, and I can't just focus on one thing too much. And I've got my little here, and I've got my my stuff here, and all the bits and pieces that need to be here just to keep me distracted. And this camera here is like a lifeline because it's like an anchor. That's how this works for me, so I can focus on it. And remember, so difficult sitting still or remaining calm. Oh boy, yes. Oh yes, like people have seen me blow up and explode and that, but no, it's me being it's me being bad, it's me being evil, it's me being thingy. It isn't. It can't possibly be a part of my mental illness. It takes a lot. I've managed to get so many coping strategies to stop me triggering, to stop me exploding, to stop me shouting, to stop it getting to that stage. I do so much. For example, in many situations when I was at Munchies and I was on the stage and doing the staff thing and the I'm the adult in the fucking room thing, I would always say things like, okay, let's calm that down, let's not do that, let's not do it, that shouldn't be done. Let's say it calmly. It would only be like the 4th or 5th time that I had to approach these subjects where I might say a cutting remark or something, and it might go beyond the normal. And that was like, feeling constantly on the go. Oh yeah, there's a reason that a lot of people with ADHD have high blood pressure. And it's not to do with their weight, usually it's to do with the fact that their brains are usually either in fight or flight. The brain's always on the go, always thinking of multiple things to do. And even if you can't do those things are there in their hand. It's very hard to focus on just one thing and just... It's exhausting. It's exhausting to explain it. It's exhausting to go through it every single day. Remember, this is every single day. This is the effort that has to be put in every day to remain calm, to focus on one thing, to do one thing, simple thing. Okay. Interrupting others or having trouble waiting for one's turn. Yep. Big problem. Fighting that all the time. Trying not to interrupt people. Trying not to... It's a paradox. It's not a good thing because on the one hand, don't want to seem rude, but if... Let's say you talk to me. Let's say we have a conversation and you mention something that's really interesting to me. I'm with you on the conversation. It makes sense. But if I don't stop you right then and tell you what I think about that, or the little bit of added detail that I want to add, I will forget it by the end of the conversation. My mind will literally be screaming at me to say, but I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt. It's not rudeness. I'm not doing it because I'm rude. I just want to talk. You've mentioned something that I've really, really cottoned onto, and my brain just wants to go and grab onto it before I forget it. Impulsivity. Oh boy, yes. Impatience and irritability. Yes, we are going. And that same thing about when I was standing on the stage and thinking, doing things, and if a person wouldn't calm down or things wouldn't go thingy, that could leverage me into the not calm anymore, or if something went to happen, something was triggered by my autism, that means things weren't the same as they're supposed to, and something new had been introduced in the mix without me knowing about this new thing, and then things would go differently, and then my brain would blurting out comments or interrupting others. Well, yeah. No filter. See, all this edges towards my autistic diagnosis as well. As you can see, there's crossover in a lot of these, which makes it even worse because you've got all the parts of your brain forcing you down this thing. So you, like, if someone does something wrong and I had no filter and I just say the comment of something that I don't have a choice. I don't have the choice. I don't have the choice not to. The brain will not comply. The social niceties will go out the window. And I'm sorry, it's just the way I fucking am. I don't have I can't fight it all the time. The fact that 99.9% of the time when I'm doing stuff like my stuff that I was doing for the Munchies means that I'm working fucking hard every second of every day to stop it from happening. Difficulty with self-regulation of emotions. Oh boy, yes, oh yes. I can be here, or I can be there, or I can be all over the place. Self-regulation of emotions. Well, really, that doesn't really fucking happen at all, does it? Tendency to act on impulse without thinking through consequences. Oh yeah, I've had to develop so many coping strategies to stop me buying stuff that I shouldn't, to stop me doing things I shouldn't. So many coping strategies, and every coping strategy takes a bit of effort, a bit of mental energy, a bit of thingy. I mean, some people have talked to me and said, oh, you're always the most polite and calm and thingy person and nicest person on VR and that. And I don't realise just how much fucking effort it is taking for my brain to not blurt out something or shout something or thingy. And that's on a normal day. That's when someone isn't doing something stupid. That isn't when I see stupid all the time. And I want to comment on the stupid all the time. I can't stop commenting on the. My brain wants to comment on every fucking stupid thing that every fucking person does, and I stop myself 99% of the time. I stop myself. I can comment. I can. The coping strategies work 99% of the time, but there will always be a time. And that's when you find out whether people are your true friends, whether they understand, or whether they say something like, "Oh, I've got problems and I don't do that," and they don't realise that you've spent the entire fucking night forcing and fighting your nature and trying to stop yourself because you care. Oh yes. Executive function deficits. That's the title of the next part. Whoa. Struggling with organization and time management. Oh my fucking god. Another thing that was thrown in my face thinking that, oh, we always allow you to go a little longer because you talk and then you do your song. I'm thinking that, you know, I always said to Manny all the way through all the way through everything we did there, that cough or let me know if I'm going over my time. If I'm going over my 7 minutes 30 seconds, fucking let me know, because I won't know. I will not know. I would start talking about a subject and I meant to just talk about it for 3 minutes just to get rid of my stress before I do my 4-minute song that would fit into the 7 minutes thingy, and instead my brain decided, ooh, this is an interesting subject, let's talk about it for 10 minutes. And I don't know. I never knew. I never know unless someone external to me tells me or holds a stopwatch in front of fucking me. I don't know. Oh, you could have a timer on your screen or something like that to remind yourself. Yeah, but then I'd have to look at the timer. And if I looked at the timer, it'd stress me out. And if I looked at the timer, it'd distract me from what I was going to say. And by the time I looked back from the timer, I'd have forgotten my train of thought and it's gone. Difficulty prioritizing tasks or setting goals. Oh yeah. I try so hard to when I try to organize things for myself, I can have the best of intentions to try to organize things. I can even plan out the organization. I can say, woohoo, we're going to do this, and this. And if I get through just one of those things on the actual list, it's a win. If I even try to get through one of those things on it, it's a win. Trouble with planning and problem solving. Oh yes. I'm supposed to have a very good problem solving. Then that means I try not to get distracted when I'm trying to solve a problem. And that problem can be a focus. And that problem can cause issues because I will either be fully on board or not on board at all. Many times things have gone wrong in the house and I know I can fix them. I know I can deal with them. But instead my brain will just say, panic and go, what the fuck's that? The world's going to end because such and such happened. And I didn't sort it. Inconsistent performance or follow through on commitments. Yeah. I still haven't moved forward with this project of creating a Sith Lord thingy. It just sits there, and every time I decide I'm going to do more work on it, I've got the Manta black paint that will make it completely almost unseeable. I've got all that ready and that, but every time I try to plan a project around it, and there's some fucking other thing comes up, and then it gets put on the side for another month. And then I'll look at it, and then I'll annoy myself, and then I'll think, memory and learning issues. Ooh, difficulty recalling specific details of events. Well, my short-term memory is so totally fucked for many reasons. But yeah, I've said many times, when I get up on the stage and when I do my talk, if you ask me what I talked about 2 minutes afterwards, I would tell you, no fucking idea. When I was put on the spot and was supposed to introduce Manny, my brain would completely blank out and forget who Manny was. When I sang a song, unless I actually had a recording of that song, I wouldn't know. You could ask me, you could offer me £1 million just for me to remember what song I sang 2 minutes ago, and I wouldn't be able to tell you. Struggle learning new information or skills. New games and their control schemes and their tutorials have to be in a very specific way for me to latch onto them. And I will forget 90% of what's been told to me if it doesn't fit with me. And if someone comes up with some new information that goes against what I believe, my brain doesn't want to this. My brain wants to hate it, wants to eviscerate that new information, wants to run away, wants to disappear, wants to go the opposite direction because it's different and it's change. And that's not good. That's not something I fucking want to do. And it's like, but I have to force myself. Learning new stuff, we have to do this. That's that, but it's always, my brain wants to run away and scream whenever something new that I don't know. I mean, my friends, I've seen it many times. I've managed to stick around, and I've managed to force myself to get past that point so I can actually it's not that I'm being irrational. It's just my brain just doesn't want it. Trouble with multitasking or dividing attention. Now this is a different one, because certain things mean I can be all over the place at the same time, but I'm not committing to anything. I'm not committing or focusing on anything that I should. I will be focused on one thing, and I've got to complete that one thing, even though I probably won't complete that one thing, but I've got to try to complete that one thing before I can move on to the next thing. And if I don't complete it, then I can be stuck in a like a limbo. I have so many post-it notes set up in different places in different situations. On my phone, a little post-it note thing that tells me things when I open my screen, and I have a little list of things in the kitchen that help me, and I have my daily medications, which are to do with the blood pressure. I have them in a day, so I know what day it is from that. That's become my most important thing, to know what day it is. Not so much my Echo Dot and asking my Echo Dot. Once I've asked my Echo Dot about 10 times what day it is, I go downstairs, I'll take my medication between 6 and 7 in the morning, because it's right sitting there in its little boxes, and then I will know that what day I'm on by, because I will have moved today's one to the back of the actual thing, and tomorrow's set of medication is ready for me. I used to have so much trouble with forgetting whether I had taken medication every day. This is a system I had to create. Now every time I go into the kitchen, I see if it says Sunday on that little thing, I know that it's Saturday. Yay, it works, it helps. Social and relationship challenges. Difficulty with social interactions or relationship. You have to get past the barrier with me, and you have to understand, and I will tell you too much stuff, and I will open myself up 100%. I will go from 0 to 100% with you, and if you can't handle that, then it won't work. And I will, when I'm with you, when I'm talking to you, you will be 100% in my mind. When I turn away, you'll disappear. Struggle maintaining friendships or romantic relationships. Paola always used to say that one of the reasons I was so attentive to her was because she had an illness I couldn't solve. She wasn't being nasty, she was being factual. Yeah. Trouble with communication or conflict resolution. Oh yes. Oh, yeah. Hallelujah. Oh yeah. I'm getting better, and coping strategies are being put in place, and whenever things are happening in my chat and we're having a conversation, it's a safe place to blow up. It's a safe place to shout. It's a safe place to have a heated discussion. And I've got to the point now where I don't usually disengage and run away when these things happen, unless it's something that blindsides me and something that I can't handle at all. I will usually stick around and breathe and figure things out and move through it. But yeah, trouble with communication or conflict resolution. Woohoo! Emotional regulation. Let's look at emotional regulation. Mood swings or emotional instability. Oh boy, 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 boy. So many coping strategies to calm me down, to keep me focused, to keep me in the moment, to stop me freaking out, to stop me going in a different direction, to stop me just going to hell, both negative and me, and upwards and downwards. Difficulty maintaining stress or anxiety. I've had high blood pressure my entire life, and I will have it till the day I die. It will probably be what does me in the end, because my brain is always in the fight or flight, and I can't stop it, and I will never be able to stop it. I am on the maximum amount of 3 different medications to keep my blood pressure semi-close. It's still very high, but semi-close to survivable. And it was funny because when they first looked at my blood pressure long time ago, and every time I get a new doctor, he fucking sends me for tests to see how much salt I've got in my fucking diet and all these things, trying to figure out a reason, and then I have to explain to him, because I'm in fight or flight at all time. I'm in hyperness at all time, and the energy that goes through my head and that affects my body and affects my blood pressure and everything else, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's always going to be there. We maintain it as high as good as we can, but it will always be there. Increased risks of depression or anxiety disorders. No shit. Oh my god, I can be so low and high, and I can be all over the place. I can be back, I can be forwards, I can be happy, I can be sad, I can be depressed, I can go through so many all the times, and it's so difficult to calm down, to limit myself, to do things in a specific way. Sleep disturbance. Okay, so yes. Went to bed at 1 a.m. this morning. Although, no. Mistake. Went to bed at 8 o'clock. Woke up at 10 o'clock. Stayed up till 1 o'clock. Went back to bed. Managed to actually sleep until 5 o'clock. With one interruption that I had to get up for, because I had to check that I hadn't lost the thermostat. For some reason I thought I'd lost the thermostat at 4 a.m. Coming up to 4 a.m, 5 a.m, 4 a.m, I woke up and thought, where's the thermostat? I had to go find the thermostat, and then I went back to bed, and then I got about another hour's sleep till last night. I probably, if we count the first 2 hours between 8 and 10 yesterday as just a nap for yesterday's deficit, then I had probably 4.5 hours sleep during the night. And that's the norm. I live on an exhausted timeline. I live on fatigue. I live on being thingy at all times. It's probably been, Paola was probably alive the last time I had a good night's sleep. And by a good night's sleep for me these days is anything beyond 4 hours. That is a good night's sleep for me. Anything beyond 4 hours and I am celebrating. insomnia, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, insomnia or excessive daytime sleepiness. I've learned not to fight that a fucking tool. I've tried so many times to stay up, and I've tried all the different things. The only thing that sometimes resets my sleep pattern, if it's getting really bad, is sleeping in VR. It resets it. But apart from that, I am absolutely fucked when it comes to my sleep. 2 hours at a time, usually 6 hours maximum, and 6 hours like, oh my god, I've had 6 hours sleep. I am so fucking energized. I have so much energy. I am so awake. Procrastination and avoidance. Number 9, putting off tasks or responsibilities. Oh yes. I have to have so many coping strategies because I live alone. I'm independent. I've got to. Stuff has to get done. If I don't get it done, it does not get fucking done. Like yesterday when I wanted to go out on a Quingo ride, and I procrastinated for like 2 hours, even though I absolutely fucking love being out there and that, because I know the effort, because I didn't know whether I had the energy to do it. This is the thing, for me to leave the house on the Quingo, I have to make sure I've had a poop. If I haven't had a poop, I can't leave the house. Make sure I've been to the bathroom. I have to remember to go to the bathroom and that. And then I have to decide to myself, what effort do I have to do? Am I in a situation where I think that I'll be out long enough that I might have trouble and I might need to use the bathroom? Now, I can't fucking leave my Wingo, so how the fuck do I go to the bathroom? Well, because of my bowel cancer and that, I have adult diapers that I use. And so sometimes if I think things are good, I'm going to be out of the house more than an hour. Even though thankfully I have never had an accident outside the house, it is a part of my arm. I will put the diaper on just in case, because, and yes, that affects my self-worth and that affects my self-image, and that to think at my age at 50 odd, even though it's completely reasonable for me to be using them due to my having bowel cancer and all that kind of thing. No, my brain likes to fuck me over. So that's the first hurdle, managing to plan that. And then I have to plan to put socks on, because I don't wear socks around the house, but I need to put socks on. Socks need to be on underneath my shoes so that I can be comfortable on the window. And then I have to go through and make sure I've got the water, make sure everything's charged, make sure there's so much effort to leave the house on the window. Once I'm out there, oh fuck me, it's brilliant. Once I'm out there, it's like, wee, meep, meep, down the street, happy. But getting out that door, so much procrastination beforehand, because it is not a quick thing, it is not an easy thing, it is not a doing anything thing. Self-esteem and confidence issues, yes, all the time, believing I'm not worth it, believing that people would be better off without me around. If you're exhausted watching this, imagine having that happen all the time. Imagine that being your life. Imagine dealing with that. And then remember some very vital little bit of clues. The other things we'll talk about on another video. Imagine how my bipolar type 2, which causes me to be depressed all the time, interacts that list of things. Imagine that. Just fucking well imagine that. And then imagine how my autism will interact with that list. And there's a reason why my head mental health doctor back in 2019 asked me how the fuck are you still alive? Because normally people with these kind of comorbidities and this kind of problems, especially if stuff like dealing with watching someone die over 20 years, don't survive. They don't live. They don't. They are lost. They end up end of line. And it's only because of all the coping strategies and the computers and the technology that I put in place, everything you see around me, that I am still here, and my friends on Discord, and everything every day when I'm creating new things. What I've just told you, what you've just gone through with me, and if you tried to put yourself in my space for just a second and see what this is like, you will feel exhausted by what I've just told you. And I deal with that every single day. And that's only like a third of it. We haven't talked about bipolar. We haven't talked about autism. I haven't talked about my PTSD. And this is why when people say stupid things, the thing is, I see stupid all the time. I see stupid all the time. And the fact that 99% of the time I am never doing anything shouty McShoutface. Shouty McShoutface, I like that. Shows just how fucking hard I'm trying every single day and every single interaction with everybody I know. Because this doesn't stop, this is persistent, this is all the time. It isn't like having a bad day. This is a normal day for me, this is a good day for me. If you have someone with the ADHD and they're an adult, having seen this and knowing how well, I remember ADHD is a scale. It can be really, really bad and really cripple you, or it can be minor and you can challenge it. This is Jason for the Quiver channel. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to my brain, or part of my brain.